Story time, let's talk about the story. The story for Ninja Gaiden 3 follows Ryu Hayabusa, once again, who is, of course, the most badass ninja of all time. In this game, he's, right in the beginning, he's chilling out. It looks like he's in his village. He's, having a peaceful time, not killing things like he always does. And then, out of nowhere, bam, this agency comes in and says, Ryu, look at this freaking laptop. People want you dead, and this unknown enemy really wants this guy dead. They really want Ryu Hayabusa, and of course they want him dead. So Ryu, of course, obliges. He gives in to this demand and sets out to find out who this enemy is. Soon later, he comes across an unknown man who he proceeds to fight, of course, because that's what Ryu does. Ryu is then cursed by this man on his right arm, which will most likely kill him. So his mission now is to find out who these people are, why did they want him to die, and why did they give this curse? Why did they give him this curse? Why didn't they just kill him? Right? Come on. Well, why you do that? So the story starts off pretty slow, to be honest, but it gets much more compelling later on. Of course, you have some betrayals, they have some blood, they have some characters that are likable, whatever. Ryu is a likable character. I'm just gonna say he's a badass, but he's really likable in the game. And some of the other characters that you come across are also likable. So in my opinion, it's a good story. It's not amazing at all, but it definitely serves its purpose. I did like the story. So let's go on to the sound. Now the sound. The voice acting is surprisingly good in the game for the most part. You have the always reliable Troy Baker voicing Ryu Hayabusa, and he does a really damn good job of making him sound like a badass, but also still having that human side to him, which I really liked. The other voice acting is good, but nothing amazing. The sound design is overly chaotic, but does a really good job of making all the flesh tearing and slashes sound really good. The soundtrack is also really good and kicks in at the perfect time to make things really sound epic and badass. Overall, the sound is also good in the game. So, let's go on to the graphics. Now the graphics. Ninja Gaiden 1 on the Xbox original was one of the best looking games of all time, in my opinion, so it is fair to expect a lot from the graphics in the third installment. Luckily, they do not disappoint at all. The character models are probably the highlight of the game's graphics. The main characters, all of them looking really well done and animating very well. Especially Ryu, who looks so awesome in the game, and I love just all the details they put on his character model, like all the veins on his arms, like the little tears on his scarf thing that he has. It looks really cool, and I love his ninja movement to him. It feels very authentic to me. I don't know, I just really liked his character model overall. The environments are also well designed, but there's nothing really remarkable about them. You'll go through some destroyed cities, the hallways of buildings, and the forest, so nothing remarkable, but they do look really good. The amount of carnage on the screen at once without a single frame loss is also really impressive. You will see gallons upon gallons of blood spilled, and it all adds to the way the game looks. Overall, the graphics are usual Ninja Gaiden, which means they are great. So, let's go on to the gameplay. Now the gameplay. This is where it gets interesting. Obviously by now people know that critically this game is getting panned, just because it's not as good as the other Ninja Gaiden games in the series. I never played the second one, but I can say it isn't as good as the first one. Even though it isn't as good, it still is a damn good game on its own merits. The hack and slash combat might not be as rewarding and as challenging as the other two games in the series, but it is still fun and it gives that feeling of steel going through flesh that not many other games can give you. It's just a lot of fun, it really is. One new feature to the combat is the ability to pretty much do a finisher on every single enemy that you come across. Once you're about to finish off an enemy, the camera zooms in and Ryu does a gruesome as hell finisher. And there are plenty of different ones too, and I never get tired of seeing them. They're a lot of fun. They're bloody as hell. Maybe not as much limbs flying around as I would love, but still a lot of blood just going everywhere. Even though the game itself is not as challenging as the others in the series, it still offers up some challenging moments with a variety of different enemies that you will have to fight and some of the settings that you're thrown in. One thing that they did drop the ball with is the character progression in this iteration. You only get 2 weapons and 2 special attacks. The weapons are the sword and the bow and arrow, which both feel good, but I would love more weapons than just that. The special attacks include a dragon that Ryu summons, which kills all the enemies on the screen, and an attack that lets Ryu kill multiple enemies in a rapid and very bloody fashion. These weapons and abilities are fun to use, but it would have been so much nicer if they put a shop in there or maybe an upgrade system. I don't know, just something. More weapons, more something. Two more things I really disliked about the game were the climbing sections and the context-sensitive button prompts, which I'm getting so tired of nowadays. The climbing sections are just boring and just don't feel like they should be in the game, and the button prompts I'm just tired of. I'm just completely tired of. Overall, I think the campaign is a lot of fun, but it has its fair share of problems, and it's pretty short. It's only about 7 hours long, but I would still easily say it's not even close to a 2 or 3. It's a lot of fun, so there you go. If you were looking forward to the campaign, there you go. Now let's talk about the multiplayer. Now, I couldn't believe when I heard Ninja Gaiden 3 was having an online competitive multiplayer, but it happened, and I gotta say, it's actually pretty damn good. Okay, you get co-op and competitive modes. In co-op, you and a teammate go up against a bunch of AI-controlled enemies, and you have to hold out and survive. Pretty standard stuff, but fun to play with a friend. Now, the competitive multiplayer is completely different. In this mode, you will have to hack and slash your way through other player-controlled opponents until your team or yourself is on top of the scoreboard. You can also customize your ninja by giving him different weapons, symbols, and color of clothing, whatever. And of course you do this by getting level ups and stuff. Both of these modes are a lot of fun and will easily extend playtime, but I doubt for very long because I don't think the community is going to stay very long with this game. Overall, Ninja Gaiden 3 is a fun action hack and slash game with a good story and fun gameplay. It might not be as good as the original games, the first two, and it might not be the best action game out there, but it's damn good on its own right. So, there you go. There's my review for Ninja Gaiden 3. I think it's a damn good game. Go play it because it's definitely worth it. It's not a 2 or a 3. There you go. Thank you and goodbye.